Education secretaries converge on Abuja and improve management of grassroots basic education.
At the Ministry of Education, we are analyzing the critical issue at every level in the education sector.
Environmental experts sue for private sector investment in climate change subsector.
Issue of value chain localization and saying these are opportunities for you to come and build, manufacture these solutions in Nigeria.
World Children's Day, child rights advocates ask for listening ears on children's concern.
Are there issues around their health, their nutrition? Are they getting enough food? We need to also listen to them.
Hello and welcome to the news desk at 3 on Nta News24. Live from Abuja, I am Olajide Bello. Divergent news continue to trail the proposal to remove the Nigeria police personnel from the contributory pension scheme. At a one-day public hearing on a bill for an act to establish the Police Pension Board 2024, the Senate Committee on Establishment and Public Service received submissions from stakeholders. National Assembly correspondent Muhammad Rabiu Ali reports.
The bill proposing the establishment of a police pension board and consequent exemption of the Nigeria police from the contributory pension scheme gave rise to some economic and administrative concerns. This public hearing also seeks to give the Nigeria police and other stakeholders opportunity to digest the bill.
We support the amendment establishment of the bill to take us out of the contributory pension. The contributory pension. The contributory pension. The contributory.
Sorry about the technical hitch in our report. Let's move on. The House of Representatives has received an executive bill seeking to repeal and reenact the National Social Investment Program Agency Establishment Act. National Assembly correspondent Nta News24 tells the sworn resolutions at Tuesday's plenary.
The latest National Social Investment Program Agency Establishment Bill seeks to amend the Principal Act to make the National Social Register the primary targeting tool for the implementation of various social investment programs of the federal government.
This will ensure our social welfare programs are data-driven and implementation processes are transparent in delivering social protection benefits to vulnerable Nigerians.
President Tinubu's multiple requests for approval of the 2025 to 2027 medium-term expenditure framework, fiscal strategy paper, and new external borrowing plan were referred to relevant House committees for scrutiny. Meanwhile, the Minister of Agriculture and relevant sector players appeared before the House joint committees investigating the impact and risks of genetically modified organisms on food production and the population in Nigeria.
It's not to witch hunt anybody or to indict anybody, as the finding will be tabled before the House for appropriate parliamentarian process.
Let me state unequivocally that the government of Nigeria can never, and I repeat, can never do anything that will be injurious to the population.
We are from the Center for Food Safety and Agricultural Research. The mandate of our center is to investigate these things, to research those things.
Lawmakers resolved to set up a technical committee that will harmonize all submissions with a view to determine what is best for food security in Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Nta News24, Nta News.
A late South African President Nelson Mandela once said, "History will judge us by the difference we make in the everyday life of children." It is World Children's Day today, celebrated on 20th November each year. Child rights are human rights, consequently they are not negotiable, which must be respected and protected. Lucia Diabo finds out the level of consciousness of these rights in Nigeria.
There are benefits in planning for good future of children, which range from economic growth to an improved health. In Nigeria, the federal and subnational governments, as well as partners, have made much commitment to champion support for children's welfare, focusing on health and education.
The infant mortality rate has come down. Of course, education. There are less children out of school now than before.
The 2024 World Children's Day is themed Listening to the Future, and UNICEF Nigeria is focusing on the situation of children in the country. I am meeting Christine Munduate to analyze how Nigeria fares in listening to our future.
Of course, child mortality is declining in the country. Not as fast as it should be, but it has had a progress. However, the newborn is one of the type of mortalities in children that is not really moving. All children should be vaccinated. The country still has more than 2 million children that have never ever received a dose of vaccine, of any type of vaccine. This is highly dangerous, where you have challenges in sanitation, where again there are lack of health facilities everywhere.
Now when you say listen to them, you have to learn from the youth. Listen to the cries of their hearts, listen to their burdens, listen to their concerns.
Awao, not a rename, is not only displaced by insurgency, but held for 3 days until a free medical outreach taken to the IDP camp became the saving grace. Despite these efforts, there are still some orders to be crossed.
We are hopeful that, we see that the federal government and, the state governments as well are more and more committing and devoting more resources to continue improving what they have been doing. My main message today in World Children's Day, first is what we give to children should be because we recognize they're human beings and that they are subject to human rights, that giving them nutrition, health, education, water and sanitation is just making sure that we comply with our responsibilities. It is not charity, it is not a gift, it is a responsibility that all stakeholders should understand.
There is also a need for a roadmap and a revamping of whatever roadmap exists in ensuring that educational systems are strengthened. We need to also recognize special groups, marginalized populations, and be intentional about creating programs, that would ensure that we have more children in school.
Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, has more than 110 million of a population under the age 18 and 34.3 million under the age 5. In Abuja, Olusheye Adiagbo, Nta News.
And earlier, a child advocate, Victory Nsak Ekong, joined us here in the studio and spoke on what the day means to children. Take a listen.
My name is Rajat Madhok. I'm the Chief of Communications, Advocacy and Partnerships with UNICEF Nigeria. Listen to them. What are their problems? Are there issues around climate change that are impacting them? Are there issues around schools that are affecting them? Are they safe going to schools? Are there issues around their health, their nutrition? Are they getting enough food? We need to also listen to them, because once we listen to them, we will have an idea of what really bothers them.
For starters, the government can make education at the primary level and secondary level completely free, because a lot of the times they say that it's free, but there's still things you have to pay here or there, and not everybody could afford those things. So if education and accessories to education like healthcare, like food, transportation, toiletries, like sanitary towels could be easier to access, then these things will be easy. It will make it easy for us as children to, grow. Parents can also make it easy for us to approach them with our problems, and also concerning the issues of early child marriage and children hawking on the streets. Parents play a huge role in that, and if parents could put their children in school instead of marrying them off or making them go to the streets to hawk, it will make Nigeria a better place.
Concerns are raised over the low level of private sector participation and investment in the climate change sector. These formed part of submissions by guests on Good Morning Nigeria. Alika Panachiarua reports.
Climate experts are still in Baku, Azerbaijan, strategizing on better ways to manage national targets and goals for the climate.
We're also bringing up the issue of value chain localization and saying these are opportunities for you to come and build, manufacture these solutions in Nigeria with regards to Project Evergreen. And so these are the conversations we're having on the table, and we're putting it out there to say, listen, Nigeria is a market for you.
How can they make it easy for Africans to access? Because sometimes we have this money promised, but to get it is a whole lot of another business entirely.
Nigeria is one of the countries most vulnerable to the impact of climate change. The country's lead agency is saying that financing for climate change must be distinct from that of development finance to mitigate its impacts. There was also emphasis on the role of subnationals in the country's targets and goals for climate change.
It's important for you to get the Ministry of Finance and Ministry of National Planning to please, for them to come on board, even the Ministry of Trade, because these things are not just done, in silos.
You cannot have a successful adaptation plan without having a grassroots input in formulating the policy of adaptation and implementing it.
Attention was also drawn to climate-friendly agriculture, a green economy, and the economic importance of Nigeria's carbon markets. In Abuja, Alika Opanachi, Arua, Nta News.
Federal government says the government of the Republic of Ghana has formally handed over a building belonging to the High Commission of Nigeria in Accra, Ghana. A statement by the ministry's spokesperson, Kimibie Ebienfa, commends the move and describes it as a symbol of Ghana's commitment to strengthening the ties between both countries. The statement affirms that the reconstructed building embodies the spirit of cooperation and mutual respect that defines the relationship between the Republic of Nigeria and the sister nation Ghana. The keys to the building were received by the Minister of Foreign Affairs. He was represented by Ambassador Chimezie Ogu, Director of Foreign Service Academy, Lagos, on behalf of the government of Nigeria. We recall that the demolition of the building by Ghanaian authorities was strongly condemned by the Nigerian government, and following a series of high-level engagements, the government of Ghana promised to reconstruct the block of 4-bedroom flats. This is the news desk at 3 on Nta News24. More reports after the break.
From the creeks of the Niger Delta to the breathtaking scenery of the plateau, in noonday and nighttime, we set out to bring to you captivating stories that evoke your emotions. For fascinating documentaries and reports on day-to-day issues with expert analysis, tune in to NTA News24, DSTV Channel 419, GoTV Channel 26, StarTimes Channel 101 and 433, and Free TV Channel 703.
Thanks for being there. Education secretaries from Nigeria's 774 local government areas are in Abuja for a training aimed to strengthen their capacity to effectively manage basic education at the grassroots level. Christiana Akonde reports that it was at the instance of the Universal Basic Education Commission, UBEC. The workshop being conducted simultaneously across the 6 geopolitical zones emphasizing the pivotal role education secretaries play in implementing policies and managing resources to enhance educational outcomes. Participants are being trained in key areas such as leadership, financial accountability, strategic planning, and program monitoring and evaluation.
Ministry of Education, we are analyzing the critical issue at every level in the education sector, with the plan to review and come up with new initiative programs and strategies that will deliver results.
The administrative and professional heads of the local government education authorities and are primarily expected to ensure that basic education delivery will perform optimally.
Training is all about improving the system, and we all believe with this training a lot will be achieved. That is in improving teaching and learning in the basic education.
And the federal government has dissolved the governing council of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University following alleged grave breach of the laws governing the university and disregard for lawful directives from the Federal Ministry of Education. A statement issued by the Director of Press and Public Relations, Federal Ministry of Education, Borewo Folashade, states that the decision came after the ministry found out that the chairman of the council unilaterally appointed a vice-chancellor who did not meet the minimum criteria for the position, leading to a breakdown of law and order in the institution. As part of urgent measures to resolve the disputes following, members of the governing council have been removed. They are Greg Zumba, PRO, Chancellor Hafiz Oladejo. Council members removed are Augustine Onyedebulu, Amioleron Osahan, and General Funsho Oyeneyin, retired. Also removed is Prof. Bernard Odo, the Vice-Chancellor. The annual committee meeting of Vice-Chancellors of Nigerian Universities, CVCNU, elected Professor Lawrence Ikechukwu Ezemonye as its chairman. In the same vein, Vice-Chancellor Bayero University Kano, Professor Sagir Adam Abbas, now alternate chairman, while Professor Tanko Ishaya, Vice-Chancellor University of Jos, alternate chairman, CVCNU Federal, and Professor Kabiru Adeyemo, Vice-Chancellor Lead City University, alternate chairman, CVCNU Private. The committee also elected Professor Ibiyemi Olatunji Bello, Vice-Chancellor, Lagos State University, Chairman CVCNU State, and Professor Ayodeji Olayinka Johnson Agbola, Vice-Chancellor Olabisi Onabanjo University, alternate CVCNU State. In a statement, Secretary General of the committee's secretariat, Professor Andrew Haruna, indicates that Professor Lawrence Ikechukwu Ezemonye succeeds Professor Lilian Salami, who is completing her tenure as Vice-Chancellor of the University of Benin on the 1st of December. The borders of a nation are more than just geographical lines. They are gateways to security, stability, and sovereignty. Now, 105 officers of the Nigerian Immigration Service are stepping into a pivotal role, equipped with advanced training to transform border management in Nigeria. Victor Azu brings us the story of their journey and the promise of a more secure future.
At the borders of Nigeria, a quiet revolution is underway. 105 officers have undergone specialized training in cutting-edge e-border technology, marking the dawn of a new era. Armed with this knowledge, they are prepared to tackle the complex challenges of modern border security.
With these new technologies, the Huawei Group have taught us, it will help us to survey the border, the land borders in Nigeria, the air borders too, and it's going to make our work easier.
We have gotten it right this time. I don't think Nigeria border will ever be secured as it is with the solutions that NIS has provided.
Their confidence is matched by high expectations as the Comptroller General of Immigration sets the tone with a charge to rise to the occasion.
You are the backbone of the innovations that's going on in the service. And I charge you, and I hope that you will take this as seriously as a responsibility that you ought to do.
Guiding these officers on their journey was a team of facilitators from Huawei, Nigeria. Terence Hu, lead facilitator, describes its potential to redefine border management.
The border project is critical for the border security control, and the well delivery of this project is very important, but more importantly is we need to guarantee the sustainability of this project in the future.
For the officers, the words of the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjojo, resonates deeply. He emphasizes the role of technology in modern security operations, pledging the government's continued support.
You will be well equipped to face the challenges. We will not send you to the front without giving you the necessary tools. We have officers that are professional enough to protect our borders.
Certificates of excellence were awarded to top performers, but for many, the true reward is the promise of impact. The event culminates in a visit to the state-of-the-art Command and Control Center of the Nigeria Immigration Service, proof of how far Nigeria's border security has come. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
You're watching the news desk at 3 and NTA News24. Here's a quick look at our major stories. Education secretaries converge in Abuja and improve management of grassroots basic education.
At the Ministry of Education, we are analyzing the critical issue at every level in the education sector.
Environmental experts sue for private sector investments in climate change subsector.
Of value chain localization and saying these are opportunities for you to come and build, manufacture these solutions in Nigeria.
World Children's Day, child rights advocates ask for listening ears and children concern.
Are there issues around their health, their nutrition? Are they getting enough food? We need to also listen to them.
This is NTA News 24.
Moving on, in a world where the daily grind often overshadows the selfless efforts of many, Nigeria Pride Awards stand as a beacon of hope, recognition and inspiration. The awards were created with a singular purpose to celebrate excellence in service and humanitarian efforts, particularly among those who work tirelessly to improve lives, uplift communities and aid the vulnerable. The report. The idea for the Nigeria Pride Awards was birthed during a time when the country was grappling with numerous social and economic challenges. Although many Nigerians were resilient in their pursuit of progress, there were unsung heroes who often worked behind the scenes, dedicating their lives to improving the welfare of others. From medical professionals volunteering in underserved communities to philanthropists building schools and empowering the youth, these people often went uncelebrated, their efforts buried beneath the noise of everyday struggles. A group of civic leaders, entrepreneurs and community advocates saw the need to highlight these unsung champions, believing that by shining a spotlight on excellence in service, they could inspire a ripple effect of positive change across the nation.
For you to have been singled out in your respective organizations, whether in the National Assembly, whether in the private sector, wherever you are, you know that you are doing whatever you're doing. Please keep doing it well. My team believe that there are people who are doing well in Nigeria. There are people who are serving the country well. Even though the voices of those who are negative are drowning the voices of those who are doing well.
The Nigeria Pride Awards was also to reward individuals and organizations who had demonstrated outstanding service to humanity, particularly those who showed exemplary care and compassion for retirees and the elderly, groups often forgotten by society.
On behalf of Nigerian Pride Award, I'm presenting this to Honorable Mukhtar Aliu Betara, Best People-Oriented Lawmaker of the Year.
I'm also grateful to the staff of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate for keying into my passion for keying into my vision, for keying into how I felt that pensioners should be treated and taken care of.
And we've been doing that with this philosophy in mind that we can reach out from the little that we have. And this recognition came unexpectedly.
So this award will spur him more to see that in the next 3 years or so, he will make sure that virtually most of the IDPs have returned back to their communities and ensure that more employment have been generated for the youth.
The Nigeria Pride Awards is not just about rewarding the past, but also shaping the future, as more people witness the positive changes brought about by those recognized. The notion of humanitarian service began to spread far and wide. Olajide Bello, NTA News. That concludes the news desk at 3 on NTA News 24. Thanks for watching. I am Olajide Bello.